What's up, everybody? King Triple C here, the Olympic champion, flyweight champion, the bantamweight champion of the world. And I got a public service announcement to all you wannabe MMA casuals or MMA fans for that reason. You guys make sure to listen to my boy Story of the Fight with Will and Miro. You know why? Because Triple C said so. And if you don't, you can do me a favor and you can bend the knee to King Triple C 2.
But yeah.
But
anyways, the shirt.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, look at how shiny it is too. Oh, sick, doggy. You got your shirt?
The sad thing is it's going to be mirrored on YouTube, but
people are going to be like, FOS? What is that?
7OZ. 7
What'd you
ounces.
think of the shirt, though?
Dude, it's nice. It's comfy.
You like it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
The next order I put through, I think I'm going to try to get like over 20 shirts put in.
Oh, dang.
And we might just do something to like say thank you to our most frequent listeners. Like, dude, I think about on my end, I have my buddy Jermaine, Katie, who like listened to every single episode. My buddy Richard Bustos, who has his own basketball podcast, who listens to this one too, just as a way to support. Knows nothing about MMA, but supports as much as he can. But I'll probably end up getting him a shirt too, just for George Coleslaw, right? Yeah, getting them all their own SOF shirt, just as a way of saying thank you for getting us going over here, man.
Dude, definitely. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Maybe holding a little contest for our Instagram followers too.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Maybe send some out that way also. That'd be pretty cool.
Did you send one to Frank?
Yeah. I let him know I
nice.
sent it. And he's out of town at the moment. Frank, if you're watching this, you should already have the shirt in your mailbox.
Thank you very much.
But he said he's gonna be back in California soon and should get it then.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we should send one to Derwin too.
Absolutely, already on my to-do list for Mr. Derwin Lamb.
Yeah.
We'll get some shirts out there though. I like them though.
Yeah.
I thought that the SOF Octagon was gonna be a little too big, but it ended up being all right.
Yeah, I like it. It's nice too. Like the quality's nice.
Yeah, if there's anything we could change about it, just let me know.
Yeah,
I'm not a full-time shirt designer.
Yeah.
So I need input.
Yeah, I think it definitely helps that I put the white outline around it so that you can actually see
it makes it pop a little more.
Yeah, and then I was thinking about reworking the logo a little bit, not like specifically for the shirts, but just to have like another logo.
That'd be
have
sick.
an idea for one that might work out well. We'll see. I might get frustrated with it halfway through and give up on it.
But yeah, we started talking about shirts, and this is the one I wore to. This was Woodley Till for Till's first loss.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. And I hadn't worn this shirt until today. Special occasion.
What was it doing?
Chilling.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm looking through the closet and I'm like, dude, what to wear, And I was like, oh, this shirt. And I took it off. The tag was still on. And I was like, fuck, I guess I'll wear it. I mean, like, why'd I buy it?
Yeah.
So might as well wear it. It's like shoes. Like I'll get like a lot of different shoes, and people are like, well, do you collect them? I'm like, no, like I wear my shoes, man. I'm not gonna buy shoes just to have them in a box forever. Like I'm gonna wear my shoes.
Yeah.
So, I might as well wear this shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
This is, dude. I didn't realize how long ago that was though. It says here September. That's 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Fucking crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Time flies,
Phil
dude.
took his first loss 2 years ago.
Time flies, dude. When you look at like, you think of a fight and then you like see when it was, like when the fight happened. You're like, wait, what?
You're like, yeah, that was recent. That was on one of the last cards.
It's like 2 years ago. 4 times since then. It's like what?
Oh dude. Man. Yeah, but I remember this. It's the last live UFC event I went with Mindy to that one, and she thoroughly enjoyed it.
Nice.
And my the best memory. This is where
Jeff
I
Neal
saw
versus,
our boy Frank Camacho.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that my most memorable moment though was watching Darren Till walk out to Sweet Caroline and having 18,000 people sing along to it, man. goosebumps, goosies all over my arms. You know what I mean? Just it was awesome, man. One of the best experiences. I'll probably post that on Instagram too here pretty soon. Just
you have a video of it or
show
what?
it off there. Yeah, man. Nice. Walking out with his arms raised, dude. And
I remember the walkout. Yeah, it was awesome.
Of people. Oh my god, man! I just absolutely electrifying. Yeah, absolutely electrifying.
I mean, it came through like that on TV, so I can only imagine. If it comes through like that on TV, it's got to be crazy when you're there. Yeah.
Goosies all over my body. It was amazing.
Goosies.
Amazing. Goosies, dude. Do you have anything new going on this week?
Nope.
Nope. Dude, NBA Finals, which I have not paid attention to whatsoever.
Yeah. Same. I don't follow basketball.
I can't stand LeBron James. I know that they're up right now 3-2. Oh, dude, the A's got eliminated? It's okay, man.
By the dirtiest team in the history of baseball. It's a bummer.
For sure. I'll have to reach out to Spear then.
Yeah.
To congratulate him
condolences.
on his first round exit. Dude, every year I would tell him, I'd be like, oh, second round, sorry.
Come on. They beat the White
every
Sox.
year I would always make sure I let Spear know, be like, hey, dude, maybe next year, buddy.
Dude, you know what sucks?
Year.
You know what sucks? Is the Astros only made it to the playoffs because they expanded the playoffs this year. The A's won the division. The Astros were there was 2 teams this season that made the playoffs with a losing record for the first time ever in baseball, and the Astros were one of those teams. So it's like
they eliminated the division champs.
I know, and it's like they just wouldn't even have been there if it was a regular season. That's what sucks.
Well, did they move all the trash cans out of the park?
I got to quarantine the trash cans, keep them away.
Yeah.
But I think they changed. Remember a couple of years ago with the whole juice ball scandal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they changed back to those for the playoffs. Because, dude, if you watch both or the whole series against the Astros, both teams, it's like 4 or 5 homers a game for both teams. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, pop flies are just like gone, and like pitchers are like, what the fuck? Like, literally like looking at homers, being like, what the fuck? It's crazy. It was a crazy
more ratings,
series.
The way to get more ratings in baseball is more home runs, more scoring. Yeah. People love that, right? So I could totally see MLB doing something like that.
Yeah, especially after like a season where people might have been like not paying attention. Oh, it's not a real season. It doesn't count. All this stuff. Yeah. Bring the dingers back in the off season or the postseason. They'll watch it.
I hate dingers. That's right. Bringing the dingers back, dude. That's awesome. Yeah. But other than that, nothing new. Oh, Dallas started flag football again.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. He's a little savage. He's playing wide receiver and safety.
Nice.
Dude,
solid.
It's so much fun. Dude, once you have your own kids, man, you're going to see just nothing better than watching your kids play sports.
I know. I can only imagine.
Dude, watching like Lucy doing gymnastics, and I'm super biased.
Obviously.
Super biased because I see her and I'm like, dude, she's the best athlete on the mat. And then like watching Dallas, I'm like, dude, he's light years ahead of all these kids. Yeah. And I'm just like, come on, man. Like every parent probably looking at their own kids saying the exact same thing.
Yeah. Dude, well, the gymnastics thing, I probably said this last time you brought that up, but that was GSP's base.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Dude, I got to get him back into jiu-jitsu, man. I got to get the kids back into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, we've been gone a few months from jiu-jitsu, and it's crazy because having Lucy in jiu-jitsu, like you could see just like her toughness increases in everyday life.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like just it doesn't matter what she's doing because kids are kids. They get bumps and bruises and scratches and you name it, right? Mm-hmm. And when Lucy's in jiu-jitsu, those normal bumps and scratches throughout the rest of her normal days seem to be a lot less
traumatic,
painful, traumatic, for her when she's in jiu-jitsu. Ever since we've taken her out of jiu-jitsu, man, she's a lot girlier, which is fine. She's my little princess, right? But those bumps and bruises and scratches seem to be a little more dramatic these days. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
And Dallas seems to be a little bit lazier. Like, okay, so they get crushed, right, in his last flag football game.
Yeah.
Annihilated.
But did he do well?
Yeah, he did pretty good. Whenever he got the ball, he did pretty good, man. But I'm thinking about, like, so he's walking away, and I'm walking up to him and like, all right, Romero, this is where one of those, like, heartfelt dad motivational speeches really comes into play, right?
Yeah.
And so I walk up to him, and he's walking away, and he's right in front of his assistant coach, and I'm like, Dallas, hey, you fought your heart out, buddy. You did a great job. I'm very proud of you. You hustled. And he goes, yeah. And he looks back at his coach, and his coach is like, yeah, dude, you did really good. And he goes, hey, but it's snack time. And I was like, oh, that's right. He's 7.
Yeah.
Like, he can give 2 shits about that L right now.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, so you're not upset that you lost the game? He's like, I get more upset when I lose at video games. It's okay. And I was like, oh, all right, Let's move on. So
nice.
funny, man.
He's like, I forgot we lost.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, oh, I played?
Yeah.
Dude, last night he was playing some Smash Bros, and he's like, who's battling tonight, Dad? I'm like, oh, it's Sandhagen versus Moraes. And he goes, oh, cool. Can I sit here and watch? I was like,
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, speaking of the fights, Will.
Yeah, moment of silence. Let's start with that real quick.
Yes. And by the way, I was going to ask you,
Yeah.
are you okay with at the end of the show, I do a little something called Will's Wisdom, where I ask you for your wisdom on a couple of different questions?
Yeah, I'm down.
All right, sick. But for now, moment of silence. What is it?
Moment of silence. Sadiq Youssef versus Edson Barboza would have been a burner.
Yeah.
A
A Burmer as well.
burner, yeah. Alejandro Perez versus Thomas Almeida would have been really fun.
Yeah.
And we move on.
No, that was the moment of silence. Okay, got it. Thank you, dude. Those would have been some barn burners, as you
Bomb
said.
Burmers, yeah.
Dude, that's gonna be it going forward.
Yeah.
I still really enjoyed this card. Thoroughly enjoyed this card.
Oh, it was the best card in a while. Really good card.
Yeah, think about the fight
honestly,
night.
too many
from,
fights to talk about.
The fight night from like 3 fights ago, was it? Where it was just stacked
Yeah.
and we're like, man, this could have been.
This is the best
pay-per-view.
non-pay-per-view card. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But this, and when it comes to names and star power, that card had it.
Yeah.
But this one, man, the fights and just the level of excitement and fun and energy, dude, this was a card.
When you sent me the picture of all your picks, and I was like going through each fight and looking at
Which,
them.
by the way, I did awful.
Yeah, it's all good. But I was going
We're not
through.
gonna talk about that right now.
I was going through all the fights that were on it, and I was like, "That's a great fight. That's an awesome fight, dude." And the first fight we're gonna talk about, it sucks because there's fights that were worth talking about and it's just gonna be way too long if we talk about every single fight on this card. But the fight that everybody's talking about and that we're gonna talk about first, probably, I was so excited for this. Why they put that on the prelims, I have no idea. I don't know if it's just name power or what, but
Could have been the co-main event.
it should have been, because I know that sounds crazy because they're both very early into their careers, but when we watched Buckley make his debut against Holland, I remember we talked about obviously how great Holland was in that fight, but I remember specifically talking about being excited to watch Buckley fight from here on out.
Yep.
Because did he bring it in that fight? Yes. And obviously he lost.
On a couple days' notice.
On a couple days' notice. He had a fight the weekend before that. And man, he just looked very promising. So I was very excited to see him. And we were recently very, very high on Kasanganay and excited to watch his next fight. So when I saw that was happening this weekend, I was like, fuck, that's a great fight. Super excited for that fight. Sucks to see somebody lose in that fight. Sucks even worse to see somebody lose the way they lost in that fight. But
does it though?
I mean, this is one of those. This is one of those cards. Yeah, this is one of those cards again where people become stars, right? And Buckley, everybody knows who he is now.
Everybody's household, anybody that has any type of MMA media on their Instagram, anything like that, knows who Buckley is.
He had under 4,000 followers on Instagram going into this fight. He now has 51,000. Overnight. I mean, you go to like some of his pictures. He gets about 150 likes on all of his posts. The last one he posted before this card now has 2,600 likes. And he posted a video of Dana talking to him that has over 100,000 views. Yeah, I mean,
A star was born.
a star was born, and rightfully so, because that was some of the slickest shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
We mentioned it on his first fight where he reminds us of like a Tyson.
Yeah.
Shorter, stockier, and dude, I love his ability to get in close.
He uses
with
his
head
feet.
movement and feet.
Man.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't lunge
and again,
to get
reminds
in.
me very much of a Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
Power behind the shots, and very early on, Kasanganay was put on notice when he got clipped with that right hook.
Yeah.
And he, dude, ever since then, he was backpedaling a bit.
He was like,
backpedaling
woo.
a bit. Backpedaling a bit. Yeah, he felt that power. He wasn't trying to feel it again.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But, man, I was just super impressed
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Buckley. And I'm glad everybody knows his name now.
Yeah, 100%. And it sucks that Kasanganay was on the receiving end, but at the same time, it's almost better that it was somebody like him that it happened to for two reasons. First reason being he's still very fresh. That was his first loss ever.
8-1 now.
What was that?
8-1 now, I think.
8-1.
Right?
That's a knockout. He didn't take a bunch of shots after it. He'll be back. He can learn from that. His career is not over because of that. It wasn't like the biggest pedestal that he was on, and now he lost, and his career is over now. Far from that. So that's number one. Number two, Buckley didn't land that shot on some cam. He landed that on a very, very tough opponent that maybe not a lot of people know about yet, but that he's as real as they come. Kasanganay is going to be in the top 10. He has potential to be top 5. I mean, I see great things for him moving forward. So the fact that Buckley landed that on a very, very real fighter is even more impressive because it was some Matrix shit like that. I mean, that's some shit Neo does to like some random cop in the elevator scene, like or the lobby scene. Fucking awesome, fucking crazy, man.
And Kasanganay, we'll see him again. I'm sure we're gonna see him soon.
Yeah.
Other than those couple shots he took, like you said, it wasn't extensive damage.
It wasn't
so he's probably gonna want
minute-long beatdown, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if I were him, I'd probably take a few months off still. Either way,
take 6 months. He was out
100%
cold.
concussed.
Out
100%
cold.
concussed.
Yeah.
Oh, that picture you sent me, where it was right after impact, and his eyes are just like looking off somewhere else, and he's hunched over, and he's just like a tree.
It looked like
tip over.
It looked like somebody getting chased by a zombie. That picture. It's fucking crazy because he landed the back kick and landed off balance, momentum forward. So he kind of took a few steps like to run through the momentum, and so the picture is like him almost running away from like this zombie dude coming at him. It's fucking crazy, dude.
And that other picture of him where you could see Felder. I
think. And Hardy.
And who was the other color in Hardy? Yeah, in the background. Just like standing on their feet, hands on their head, and he's just
and he's
God,
pointing at him like
iconic shots, man.
Yeah,
awesome
I mean, a star was born. 100% a star was born. Everybody will be excited to watch his next fight.
I'm so excited. Want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, we can move on.
Aspinall versus, how do you pronounce that other guy's last name? Is it Baudot?
Baudot, yeah, Baudot.
Baudot?
Yeah.
Baudot.
Yeah, Aspinall. I was super hyped to watch fight because his last fight was fucking awesome. Yeah.
You said that going into the last one too. You've been hyped on Aspinall for a while.
Mm-hmm. And man, his hands are just so fast, dude. And in that division, we need people like that with just crisp combos. Stays in the pocket, looks good defensively. Clearly has really good killer instinct. I'm excited to see him continually to fight people who are tougher, to just continue proving that his hands are good, and it's not just like he's fighting these like no-name guys. Super impressive.
Very quick hands, and didn't have very much respect for Baudot's power, because he just kept on walking forward.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And I mentioned it the last time he fought, where his movement reminds me of a light heavyweight's movement.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so does his speed. And that ground and pound, man.
Dude, he's got
like, I know
some
people were like, that was an early stoppage. But we talked a little bit about it in the last podcast, which if you didn't listen to it, check it out. But where the TKO is not just for when somebody's unconscious, right? But when somebody's huddled up, fetal position, covering up, not trying to escape in any way, shape, or form. Like, he was intelligently defending himself, right? Because he was covering up. But the referee, after 10 unanswered shots, said it's not going to be any different. The only difference from me stopping this now or stopping it later is going to be he's going to probably have taken more damage to the head.
Yeah.
There's just no chance of him getting out of this.
Yeah.
So I was absolutely fine with it.
Yeah, for me, I don't even think he was intelligently defending himself, because I think when you just cover up and shell up, yeah, you're defending yourself. The shots might not be getting through fully, and you're technically defending yourself. But I think there's a difference between defending yourself and intelligently defending yourself. And intelligently is working to improve position, finding openings. I mean, when there's ground and pound, there's openings. That's why lay and pray fighters aren't trying to finish the fight as soon as they get on top, because they'll lose control. So he wasn't looking to improve. That's a good point. Yeah, he wasn't looking to improve his position. Maybe he wasn't.
So I guess you could say consciously defending himself versus being non-conscious.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like that would probably be the difference.
I mean,
but you're right. You think that
shelling up is. I mean, you're not gonna improve your position. Yeah, you might as well tap.
Might as well tap. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you're right. Intelligently defending himself would be him trying to, buck up, shrimp out, do something different. At least get in a half guard or something. Or
if somebody's trying to get the TKO on you and they're landing these crazy shots over and over and over again, there's openings. That you cannot finish a fight like that without having openings. So if you're not going to take advantage of those openings, you're basically saying, I'm okay with this.
It's another way of tapping.
Yeah.
Again, it's another way of tapping, right? So.
Yeah.
But yeah, Aspinall, I'm excited to keep on watching him fight.
Yeah, I'm excited to see.
I think he has said that he's not satisfied with his performance, both wins.
Yeah.
So I if he feels like he's still not performing to the best of his ability, then what? All right.
Yeah. My only thing next with him, my only thing that I want to see next with him is I want to see him tested. Not just with a good opponent, but I want to see him tested.
Steroids?
No. I want to see him tested, have his heart tested. It's not just about having him face a name that tests his skill level. I want to see his mentality tested. I want to see his determination tested. I want to see him get cracked and see how he responds and gets through that. It's gonna happen in the heavyweight division. Well, here's the thing. Get clipped. He's gonna get clipped, and especially if he's not respecting these guys' power, if he's gonna come through and do that, eventually he will meet his match, and it will fire back, and that's what I'm excited for.
Exactly.
I want to see what his answer is for that.
And that's what I was thinking when I was mentioning the fact that he was walking forward with disregard for Baudot's power, and I thought that in my head too. It won't work forever.
Yeah.
It won't work with every heavyweight. Yeah. And even when it doesn't have to be a top 10 heavyweight. I could think about him facing Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah.
And him walking forward like that and having Tuivasa clip him right on the chin.
Yeah, rest in peace, Tai Tuivasa. It's a different story.
Dude. Why? What happened?
He got cut.
Did he already get caught?
No, cut.
Oh, cut. He got cut?
Yeah, I'd like to see him back. I mean, I don't know why they would cut somebody. I mean, clearly he was having issues with wrestling and stuff like that, but I mean, in the heavyweight division, we need people.
What else you got, though?
We need them.
You know what I mean? Why would you cut him? All right, well, now I'm sad because I like Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, I enjoyed watching him fight.
Even when he lost, it was still entertaining fights.
Well, all right. We'll move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perez versus Duplessis.
Yeah. This fight was sick. This is almost a coming out party. I've never heard of this guy before, if I'm being honest.
Duplessis?
Yeah, I guess it was his debut. I've never heard of EFC.
So just to put this out there, Duplessis, former welterweight and middleweight champion in EFC Africa, went into this fight with a record of 14-12, winning 10 of his last 11 fights.
Yeah.
So he's no chump.
14-2.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said 14-12. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Really?
Oh, 14-2, my bad.
I was like, well, maybe not a coming out party. This might be.
No.
Yeah.
He went 14-2, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Went 14-2. So again, he's no chump. Winning 10 of his last 11 fights.
Yeah.
Former multi-division champ. He's a champ in EFC Africa. So again, he's no chump, but as a lot of fighters say, there is the first time UFC Octagon jitters.
Yeah.
And it was super clear that he had him in the
Yeah.
very beginning. And Perez knew that and tried to take advantage of that with the nonstop pressure coming forward.
Yeah. And
Just didn't work out.
And he said, tie that ponytail down next time, and I'm going to catch you with this left hook. That was slick, man. That left hook was super slick. That short little, and man, people see things and they try these swirly things. Spinning back elbow, the Yair Rodriguez Korean zombie elbow, and man, he got punished for trying that.
Here's my temple.
He's like, hey,
right here.
He's like, I'm just gonna turn, give you that as you're throwing the hook, and
But good for Duplessis because that's a very awkward position for you to think you're gonna counter. When somebody's coming towards you, bends down and tries to throw that elbow, for you to be that quick to put some pop in your left too, to counter that, like that's slick. Yeah. You know, so good for Duplessis.
The other thing he does, and we talked about it with Buckley, he uses his feet really well to get in position. He was throwing body kicks really, really well, that left body kick. I know he's got a K1 background. That left body kick was good. His low kicks were good. And he wasn't reaching with his strikes. He was letting his feet get there and then throwing his strikes. And he was like catching him off guard, almost switching stances as he was throwing. And he was knocking his head back a few times before the KO. But yeah, I'm excited to see someone like this because you see people look for these labored shots, these telegraphed spinning attacks that a lot of people will either evade or they'll close the distance to stuff it, and it's one of those two things. And it's rare when somebody has the accuracy to make someone pay in those moments. It's either get out of the way, smother, or smother, right? But the fact that he was able to land that shot on a position that's not traditional whatsoever. He was in a spot where normally you're fighting somebody, their head never ends up right there. But the fact that he was able to land the shot in that moment, I'm excited to see. He's got accuracy, dude.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. And he speaks very well. He looks the part.
Yeah.
You know, at the end on his in his interview, when he said he wants somebody in the top 20, he wants to continue moving up, be a champion. He wants to be the first born in Africa, bred in Africa, African champion. And I was like, oh, dang, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, Adesanya and Usman are just like, who's this?
And look what division he's in. Adesanya's at the top. I mean, obviously it's way too early to say that, but man, I'm excited to see him. I love that division. Middleweight's always been one of my favorites.
And again, this is why I tell people don't sleep on the talent outside of the UFC.
Yeah.
Right? We see Justin Gaethje. He's currently the interim champ. Right? Now we see Duplessis, a champion from another organization. Let's see what he does within the UFC as well. We'll see what Chandler does, But I just wish that we had more like intercompany fights.
Yeah. I mean, it's happening more and more though. I mean, look at Yuri.
Can you imagine though, like the type of views that we would get, like Prochaska, of course.
Yeah.
The male dime piece.
Yeah.
But when we
we're so excited.
I know, dude. We're so when you take a look at like Bellator and UFC, if we were to have like a Bellator versus UFC champion versus champion type of event, imagine how many views that would get. Yeah.
And then it would never happen again because it would be tough.
This is just one of the like what ifs.
No, I know. It would get so many views. Obviously, I don't think Bellator would do it again. After once,
because they get smashed. Yeah, and and that'd be high risk, low reward for the UFC as well. Because if any of their champions end up losing, then it's like, well, hey, I thought you had the best in the world. Yeah. So what does that do for the UFC? So it's never gonna happen. I'm just thinking of.
I would love to see it though. Fuck, I would love to see it. We should do a video where we match up UFC champ with Bellator champ in all the weight divisions, and then like see who we think, like actually like break down each one and see which way it would go. That'd be fun. I've never done that before. I've done it like one off.
One down, Will.
Yeah, I've done like one off, like this guy would fight this guy, right? But it'd be cool to go top to bottom, start at heavyweight, and just move down.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And every time would be like, oh, this guy would win from the UFC.
Yeah. Not
and
every
then you got
time,
the bantamweight division. Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Piotr Jan will win.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, we'll just keep on going all the way down. All right,
true.
so let's move on here.
Yeah.
Rothwell versus Tybura. So let me just read off my notes, Will.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
I'm
So
excited
watching
for
this fight, the only thing I can think about was how the heavyweight division has evolved beyond Rothwell's capability. Rothwell was extremely flat-footed, slow looping punches, sluggish. Tybura, on the other hand, was the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And we talk about Aspinall, and we talk about Tybura, and we continue thinking about what these younger kids that were watching the UFC growing up and have been doing this since a younger age, and what they've evolved into now. I felt bad for Rothwell, man. He was delivering some solid shots.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's because Tybura was willing to fight within the phone booth.
Yeah.
Accepted some of those clinches, where I honestly think he could have used more footwork to get in and get out.
Yeah.
But I think he wanted to show that he could fight in that situation as well.
Yeah, and I think he was content with shelling up when Rothwell would have his combos, and he's like, yeah, I could take this, I could take this, I could take this. And it's really getting through. So I think he just wanted to be like, look, you can throw your 7-punch combo, but I'm gonna drop my hands right at the end of it and be fine. So
And
I think there was a little bit of that too.
It's watching people like Tybura that make me so excited, because I walk in the garage and I look at my dumbbells and I look at, and I'm like, but that guy is an elite world, like, professional athlete. Instead of doing that, let me grab my Bluebell. Oh, Bluebell ice cream. That's a Texas thing. Dude,
Gotcha.
You haven't lived until you
I think
try
I've heard of
Bluebell ice
that.
cream.
I think I heard of that.
Dude, but you haven't lived until you've actually put it in your mouth, Will.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds. So
Phrasing on that one.
next time you come to Texas, first thing we're going to do...
You gonna try to put that cream in my mouth or what?
Dude, cookies and cream. That's the only way to go. That's the only
They
way
don't
to
do
go.
just regular cookie dough?
Oh, yeah. Dude,
That's my favorite.
You think of any type of flavor, Bluebell has it, but they made it with, like, Southern hospitality and love.
Gotcha.
So it tastes so much better.
Yeah.
It tastes so much better. But, dude, Tybura, and I wouldn't mind seeing Aspinall versus Tybura.
Yeah, I would rather see him fight Rothwell, to be honest.
Aspinall?
I would love to see him fight Rothwell, because then we can see step up isn't too steep as far as competition. It'd be a step up for sure. But the step up would be nice to see him fight somebody who has, like, real experience in the UFC. That's what I want to see. I want to see him fight someone who has some experience. I want to see, man, if you look at the bottom of the heavyweight division, there's some cool people who are starting to kind of fizzle their way up to the top, like Tanner Bozer, Tybura, Aspinall. There's some guys, Cyril Gain, who's fighting this weekend.
Who's he fighting this weekend?
Who knows, dude? He's had like a million opponent changes. It's crazy how many times. Let's see.
Probably in the moment of silence for next week then?
Dude, probably. But I hope you're ready for this list. So he fought Tanner Bozer. He's undefeated, 3 UFC wins, all finishes. Or no, he went to decision with Tanner Bozer, but he arm triangled Pessoa. He heel hooked Dontel Mays. Beat Tanner Bozer with a decision, unanimous decision. And then he was supposed to fight Shamil Abdurakhimov.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. That got canceled.
Okay.
Because he had a pneumothorax. I had a pneumothorax in high school. That was fun. Just kidding. It was one of the worst experiences of my entire life.
Is that when you got headbutted on your chest?
Yeah. Punctured my lung. I thought I had a bruised rib. Then I thought maybe it's a cracked rib. And I went like a whole week and was like, something's weird. I got to get it checked out. And I was like, I'm not going to go because what are they going to do? Wrap my torso up and say, wait till it gets better? It's like, fuck that. I'll just keep doing my thing. And then it got to the point where I was like, I need to go to the hospital. Went to the hospital. And I was like, let me get an x-ray. And they were like, you don't need an x-ray. If you had a broken rib, you'd know. And I'm like, well, you don't know what I'm feeling right now, so don't tell me that. I might be in terrible pain, but maybe I just hide it
But
well.
I handle pain differently, yeah.
Yeah. And then, so we do the x-ray, and they're like, we think it's something with your heart. And I was like, I'd rather be a broken rib. And so they were getting ready to do the EKG, and then the x-ray results came back while they were getting that all prepped. And they were like, you got to go to the ER and have surgery because your whole lung is collapsed. And I was like, oh. And they could tell in the x-ray that like there was like, you can see like the fogginess of a lung right here, right? It's like a little haziness underneath the ribs. And then this side was just like all black and then just like a little haziness down at the bottom. And they're like, that's your lung down there, completely collapsed. And so I was like, oh, cool. So they went up to San Jose, cut me open, stuck a tube in me. That shit sucked.
Dang.
But so then he was supposed to fight Sergey Pavlovich, and Pavlovich got injured. And then he was supposed to fight Abdurakhimov again, and now he withdrew. And now he's fighting Ante Deliha, who's also undefeated. Oh no, he's not undefeated. That's
Deliha? No relation to Chris D'Elia.
No, it's spelled differently. No apostrophe.
Oh, okay. No apostrophe.
Not a predator. But he's 17-3, so that's a good test for Cyril Gain. But yeah, super excited to see him fight. Hopefully it actually happens because he's also out of France with Francis Ngannou and
nice.
Who's the other guy?
The fighter we just watched last week.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. It's gonna bum me out, but well. So yeah, heavyweight division is looking finally like it's got some prospects coming up. Rest in peace, Tybura.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Dude, why'd you have to bring that up again?
Yeah, he's a great guy to have some of these guys fight and mix up with, but oh well.
Yeah. All right. Well, apparently UFC didn't see it that way, so
yeah,
that's what matters.
Yeah.
Barboza versus Amirkhani.
Yeah, Amirkhani taking this on short notice. Edson, Barboza. The disrespect on his ranking bums me out. Ranked 14th going into this?
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Nah. Dude, let's just listen real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, if we look at his last 13 fights going into this, are you ready for this murderer's row?
Yeah,
Bobby Green, Michael Johnson, Paul Felder, Tony Ferguson, Anthony Pettis, Gilbert Melendez, Benil Dariush, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Kevin Lee, Dan Hooker, Justin Gaethje, Paul Felder again, and then Dan Ige. Son of a bitch, dude. He's had a tough fight for the past... I mean, that Bobby Green fight was 6 years ago. It's been 6 years that he's just been facing killer after killer after killer.
Wow.
So the disrespect to put 14 under him, it just breaks my heart because maybe he's not winning every fight, but he's fighting the absolute best every time he goes in there.
That's insane.
Yeah, just an absolute monster. he's so good.
No disrespect to Amirkhani, but this is probably the lowest level of competition he's faced.
Yeah.
In the last 6 years.
And I mean, he was supposed to fight Sadiq Youssef. So props to Amirkhani for stepping in and fighting one of the most dangerous strikers in the UFC.
And dude, is he ever dangerous, man? Like
always.
That straight right.
Oh my
the switch kick.
Dude. Yeah.
So fast.
Dude, the body
probably the
shots.
fastest strikes.
Oh, dude, the hooks he was throwing to the body were... And I know Amirkhani, I'm sure this was the game plan because he's struggled in the later rounds in his last few fights. And I love Amirkhani. I think so highly of him as just a person. So to see him rip to the body, I was like, man, what a great game plan. Because Amirkhani, who struggled later in fights, if you want to take that gas tank out early and just make sure he slows down in the later rounds, man, just a flawless performance by Edson. Apart from finishing the first and second round on his back for the last 5 seconds of the rounds, a flawless performance. He looks so good.
Yeah. Opposite of Tybura, where I see this guy and I'm like, maybe I should hit the weights.
Yeah.
And lay off the Bluebell ice cream.
Yeah.
Because, dude, he's in phenomenal shape, man.
He always
seems like he has zero body fat.
Yeah. I mean, at this weight class, I mean, he fought at 155 for a long time, and at this weight class, there is zero fat, no room.
And thinking about his gas tank. You mentioned Amirkhani's gas tank. That was something I was kind of concerned about with Barboza too, because we've seen him, right, where his gas tank gets emptied a little too early, and
just has
especially
so
when
much
he's
volume.
dropping that much weight.
Yeah, he has so much
And
volume
a lot
early
of
on.
volume, a combination of things. So I was kind of concerned about that.
Yeah.
But he still looked pretty damn fresh in that third round, man.
Man, maybe that's the move
Super
too.
efficient.
Maybe that's the move too. Is take out their body early so that when I start to slow down, they're also slow. You know, I mean, man, those body shots.
Man.
I mean, we talk about it all the time. Body shots are just something that's missing from a lot of people's game. That I think that separates the elite strikers from the good strikers is being able to mix it up to the body. I mean, it just pays dividends every time. Every time someone rips to the body early, it ends up benefiting them later on. Every time.
Yeah, he looked phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have much to say about that fight because for me it was pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
And again, it was just for me a striking clinic from Barboza.
Yeah, for me,
that entire fight.
the last thing I'll say about this fight is the fact that we have 2 spin kick knockouts on a card with Edson Barboza and it wasn't him. Crazy. Because he's got a few.
Speaking of spin kick knockouts.
Yep.
The Sandman Sandhagen
Yeah.
versus Moraes.
Mm-hmm. Man.
Dude, I love this fight.
Yeah, going into this, it was like that fight is stylistically, it's just so fucking fun, dude. And I was talking to George about it and talking to Coleslaw about it. And George had Marlon. I think Josh had him too. And at first I had Marlon, and then I started thinking if Cory gets past the second round, it's his fight. And then he was like, don't need to go past the second round. That's all the time I need. Man,
Yeah.
he's so
It's
impressive.
so funny because we didn't talk last week, up until we started texting last night,
Yeah.
right? And exactly what you said is the exact same thing I told my buddies over here that I was talking to as well.
Mm-hmm.
If he goes past the second round, this is Sandhagen's all the way.
Yeah.
All the way. And with Moraes, that is a pretty big if.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
seriously.
But
yeah.
I did see that Moraes came out a little more calculated in this fight. Not as many wild exchanges. Didn't seem to have as many energy bursts
Yeah.
as he has in some of the previous fights. So maybe he came in a little conscious about his gas tank compared to some of the other fights.
And I think that was his downfall. I think at the high level, it's good to be cognizant of that. But I think because Sandhagen's footwork is really, really good. When he does get hit, he's usually moving away from the shots and not moving away, like just moving backwards where if it lands good, it's going to knock him off balance.
He rolls with it.
Yeah, he rolls with it really well. His feet are underneath him when he does it. But we've also seen him get beat with hooks before from power punchers. Like, was it Lineker that fought him that ended up in the guillotine and he was like squeezing blood out of his face? I think it was Lineker. But I think Moraes, this was the worst fight for him to go in with that game plan because if he's taking the foot off the gas a little bit to save himself, which is like an admirable game plan, right? But I think it's the worst game plan against someone like Sandhagen because if you let him get into his flow and start working his volume and his output, it's over. The fight's over because he's just going to be kicking your legs, kicking your body, landing these unorthodox shots constantly, just never letting you breathe, and he's just going to stay on you. Once he gets in that flow state, everything he throws, he's landing because his striking vocabulary is higher than everybody's right now. I mean, the shots that he comes up with, and it doesn't look like you see someone like Michel Pereira, who's throwing all these crazy unorthodox things, but he's throwing them one-off. They kind of... He telegraphs a lot of them. Sometimes he's effective with them, but it's really like, I'm going to throw this crazy thing now. And now watch, I'm going to throw this crazy
and
thing.
mixing some capoeira.
Yeah.
And, just out of nowhere.
Yeah, but with Sandhagen, it's like he's putting together sentences with these different strikes. Like they make sense. It's not just random words that he's throwing out there. You know what I mean? Like,
you're speaking like you just walked out of an art gallery. And I like it.
For me, it's
like just the way he was able to piece these things together was just.
I mean, it is though, dude. Like you watch him dude, count the different number of strikes he threw versus Moraes. Moraes is very hook heavy, and he does throw some good kicks and stuff, but very traditional, nothing crazy. Count the number of different techniques Cory was able to land with and throw. I mean, he just puts it all together, and if you let him put it together, you're fighting an uphill battle. And I think that's what I thought was going to end up happening later on in the rounds. I didn't expect Marlon to be so calculated early on, and I think that's a mistake against someone like Sandhagen. You look at Aljo, who just beat Sandhagen. The way he did it was he fucking took it to him real quick, took his back, got him. You can't let him get started, because once he does, he's going.
Yeah.
You know?
No, and I like his call-outs too afterwards.
Yeah, I love the guy so much, because he could have easily been like, I just took out number 1. Fuck Aljamain. I'm taking that title shot.
Yep.
Didn't do that.
Yeah, and he was talking about how Aljamain deserves that shot right now.
Yeah.
Right? So he'll get whoever the winner is of that fight. He said, in the meantime, give me Frankie Edgar, or get me, who else did he say?
I think, did he call it TJ?
TJ. He said TJ's back in
That's
January.
the fight.
Give me TJ. Oh, dude,
that's the fight.
That'd be a fantastic fight.
Winner gets the
other
title
question.
shot.
What TJ are we getting back?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if it's
was
true.
Was he on EPO the entire time? That was part of the TJ we loved?
That's the question that's going to get answered, because, I mean, he says he took it because he had no confidence going down to that weight class, right? Which is, I could see that. I could see that being a thing. I believe it. Fuck it, I'll believe it.
There's also signs that show that he has been juicing before.
Yeah.
Where even Cody Garbrandt, a la Cody Garbrandt,
I know.
gave himself in, the rest of Team Alpha Male team in, when he said, you've done roids before, you showed us how to do it at Team Alpha Male.
Yeah.
So,
but he never tested positive, and all that tells me is, even if he was on it his whole career, we might get him back on it. We might, when he comes back, he might still be on stuff. He's like, I'm gonna stay away from the EPO now. You know?
Yeah, but everything else is okay.
It's still good.
Oh, by the way, did you see that video posted by Henry Gracie?
Yeah.
And how they were telling him that if you have the Rona, doctors told him that months down the line it might still pop up again for a little bit or something. Like,
yeah.
And I thought, like, dude, picograms through coronavirus.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Sorry, it just got me thinking right now. We're talking about all
I thought of that too.
And
yeah.
Started thinking about John Jones, and then it led to John Jones and his picograms, to Henry Gracie and his coronavirus picograms. So, in case anybody was wondering where the hell did Ramiro get this from, that's how my head works.
Yeah.
That's all I got, man. I just thought it was a clinic.
Yeah, clinic. I do think this was an early stoppage. I was stoked to see Mark Goddard in it. We both thought we called it out. I think it was an early stoppage. People are like, he got knocked down and rolled backwards. Like, he was clearly out of it. Nope, that means he was in it. He was still in it.
Yeah.
Because you don't roll backwards like that if you're knocked out. He would have just fell, stopped.
Usually, there's no rolling when you're knocked out. It's more of just like a flat impact.
That was him consciously saying, I'm going to continue with this momentum and roll backwards. That's what that was.
So that is intelligently defending yourself.
Looking to improve
and
position.
Consciously defending yourself. Looking to and prevent his position as well.
He did eat a big follow-up shot once he did continue with the roll. But I don't know. It was a little early. But I'm not going to take away anything from Sandhagen, because that was, I mean, obviously ultra impressive.
It was still a clinic leading up to.
Yeah.
Still a clinic.
Some people scored the first round for Marlon. Did you have a first round for him?
No, I had first round Sandhagen.
Same. Yeah. I thought it was a perfect 10-9 round for Sandhagen.
And Moraes scored a takedown at the very end, didn't he?
He did, but he buried his head as soon as he got it and didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything. So that's why, even after that, I was like, you know what? I still edge this to Sandhagen.
Yeah.
I think it would have been different if he got the takedown, landed a couple of big shots to end the round, but he didn't. So I figured, he didn't do anything. He didn't advance position. He didn't hit him with any significant strikes.
Yeah.
There was also no attempt. Probably just to try to score a takedown at the end.
Yeah, it was late in the round. There wasn't much time, but there also was zero attempt to improve position or land a big shot. It was very much keep him on the ground, finish the round on the ground.
So, I think I remember seeing Sandhagen too, kind of just like look off at the clock.
Yeah, he was like, how much time do I got to sit here? Should I really? Yeah, it seemed like he was trying to decide, do I expend my energy trying to get up, or do I just wait this round out? And that's
smart, man.
Yeah. You can't let him get rolling, man.
Again, earlier I asked you if you'd be okay with me asking you for what I'd like to call Will's wisdom.
Yeah.
right?
Hold on, let me just.
And this last. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Dude, you look wiser now. Yes. So, these don't have to be long answers,
Okay.
right? But just
I'll get ready for some long
boom,
ones.
right off the bat. You haven't heard any of these questions. Moraes,
Yes.
based off the last fight, better than we thought, or is Sandhagen that good?
What do you mean better than we thought? Moraes is better than we thought? or-
I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Let's say Moraes is worse than we thought, right? Like
Oh,
he's
gotcha.
overhyped, or Sandhagen's that good.
Sandhagen's that good.
Okay,
Sandhagen's that good.
easy. Hamzat Chimaev
Yep.
recently said Stephen Thompson and Chris Weidman both turned down fights against him.
Yep.
Has Chimaev earned the right to fight these top contenders?
No.
Oh, no.
No. And don't
No,
get me
who'd
wrong.
you-
I'm hyped about him. But I want to see him get tested a little bit more gradually. That's all.
Join the train.
No, I'm on
Hop
it.
this
Trust
train.
me, I'm on it. I think do I think he beats those fighters? Potentially. I'm not saying he would get smoked by him or anything like that. I just don't want to see him jump that far yet. I want to enjoy his run. I want to enjoy the lead up.
Yeah.
You know? That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Poirier versus McGregor.
Yeah.
Close to being a done deal.
Yeah.
Who benefits more from this matchup? Poirier or McGregor?
Ooh, man. This one might turn into a little bit of a longer one.
That's fine.
I think Poirier does. But no, Conor does.
How so?
Because Conor, if he comes back and fights someone like Poirier, there's a lot of naysayers about Conor in a lot of ways, and I'm one of them. If he comes back and beats Poirier, that instantly cements himself in the probably top 3 of the division. Whereas Poirier, his big thing is a payday off of this. If he goes in and he beats Conor, it's not the same as when Nate beat Conor. We've seen him lose multiple times now. We already know, while he is a special fighter, he's not the second coming. You know what I mean? Whereas when Nate beat him, it was very much like, no one's ever going to beat this guy. And he took it right out from under him. So if Dustin beats Conor, he gets the payday. He's still in the top. I don't think his spot really changes as far as matchups wise, though, if he beats someone like Conor, because you'll have people say Conor's been beaten before. He's been doing fuck all. He's been doing a bunch of cocaine on the boats. Like, it's not the same as hungry Conor, crazy Conor, who's just like looked like a world beater. It's just not the same. But if Conor can come back and fight someone like Dustin and win after doing all that shit, doing a bunch of blow on boats, I mean, it instantly,
John Jones.
instantly cements himself back in the top 3. And I think Conor benefits from that way more. Because when he came back and beat Donald, it was like, okay, cool, you beat Donald.
Yep. And again, I know a bunch of people probably think I'm up on McGregor's nuts, right? But for me, there's just something about right there. For me, it's just something about, again, I love the entertainment aspect as well. The excitement that comes with a Conor McGregor fight, I think, is unrivaled.
Yeah.
You know, so much hype, so much excitement. So I'm excited either way.
Yeah.
And I'm a big Dustin Poirier fan.
Who do you think benefits more?
McGregor.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you. But we also take a look at the generous donation that McGregor has offered of $500,000 to the
Good Fight.
What is it? The Good Fight.
Yeah.
So this is
all
why
winners.
so many people are torn on Conor McGregor, because we see glimpses
I know.
of the good heart.
Yeah.
We see glimpses of like the Conor McGregor that a lot of people have come to know and love, and then he punches old people because they tell him his whiskey tastes like piss.
I think that speaks. I
In the
think it
bar.
speaks more to Dustin though, because if you look at Dustin's last few fights, every single one of his opponents have ended up auctioning stuff off and selling it for his charity. I think it's just Dustin's just
He's
contagious.
just that good of a guy.
He's contagious, dude.
He's that good of a guy. I love it. This last one, Will, is going to be a little bit more difficult for you, and it's the last one.
Okay.
Will, you can only be a fan of one of these two fighters going forward.
Oh,
Nick Diaz or Nate Diaz? Who do you pick?
Nick.
Nick?
Yeah.
I think more personal experiences with Nick, right?
Not even if I had never met him. Still, Nick is the MMA unicorn. Nate is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I love Nate. But even Nate will tell you that Nick is something special.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Even Nate himself will tell you Nick is the best mixed martial artist he's ever seen.
There's a reason.
Have you ever seen the dude with nunchucks?
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason it's the Nick Diaz Army, where arguably Nate is more popular. There's a reason for that.
I love it. Will, that's the first ever Will's Wisdom. I think you did pretty good.
Thanks, I appreciate it. That was cool, man. I like that.
You like it?
Yeah, it was cool.
And the reason I did this is because I see certain things where I'll usually text you, right?
Yeah.
Or I'll forward you something and I'll say, look at this, or this is hilarious, or but I thought, why not get his original take, and why not, without you knowing what the questions are, like just a genuine first impression, what's your take, so that any listeners, that might be tuning in can also see what it is that you think on these things.
My opinions matter.
Yes, your opinions do matter, sir, or else I wouldn't ask you.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for this week, man. Do you have anything else?
No, man, fantastic card. Really excited for next week's.
Korean Zombie and Brian Ortega.
Yeah.
Long awaited. This has been a brewing for a while already. And we finally get to see this fight. Who do you have, by the way?
I have Korean Zombie right now, at least.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's my I don't know. That's my gut reaction. I'm still going to look into it a little bit more and really come down with a real opinion, but right now that's my gut reaction is Korean Zombie.
My gut reaction right now is Brian Ortega.
Yeah.
Same thing. I'll do a little more homework, but I think the last thing that we saw of Brian Ortega is him getting the lights and the brakes being off him.
Yeah.
By a Max Holloway, right? But before that, he was just on a massive tear.
Yeah.
So I think he comes back with a vengeance.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those
I think
fights.
Jay Park and Korean Zombie get taken down on the same night by Brian Ortega.
Yeah. No, it's a great fight. I love the matchup. I don't want to see either of them lose, to be honest. I've been a Brian Ortega fan since way before he was fighting. So I don't want to see him lose. And Korean Zombie has always been one of my favorite fighters. So I don't want to see him
Korean
lose
Zombie
either.
too.
Yeah.
I know. It's one of those where you go in and no matter who wins, you're going to be happy for. No matter who loses, you're going to be devastated for.
Exactly.
But somebody's got to lose.
Yeah.
Unless we circle both names again, Will, and just say it's going to be a draw.
Yeah. I'm excited for the whole card the main card is every fight on it is very exciting for different reasons. So I'm super excited for that
Barn-Burmers?
Barn-Burmers, man. Jimmy Crute's coming back. Andrade versus Chikagian. I'm assuming we're going to get a highlight reel something from Andrade in that fight, so I'm excited for that. No disrespect to Chikagian, but I mean, come on. And then Cyril Gane finally comes back, and then James Krause is fighting before that. So, I mean, and then, man, the headliner on the prelims, man, Thomas Almeida versus Jonathan Martinez. That's going to be sick.
Good too.
Man, great card. Great card. Not a lot of star power on this card, but, man, it's going to be good.
But I hope everybody tunes in either way because, again, we continue talking about it. If you were looking for star power, you probably would have only tuned in for the main event last night or a couple other. You would have missed on Buckley.
Yeah.
A star born. So tune into those fights. And then after that, tune in the story of the fight afterwards to see what we have to say. Because our opinions matter.
Yeah.
Dude, we should do that. Next
shirt, our opinions matter.
Our opinions matter.
Validate me.
All right. All right, well, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No.
All right, thanks, everybody, for listening to the story of the fight.
All right, everybody, thanks for listening to the story of the fight. We really appreciate everybody's support. If you don't mind hitting the subscribe button, and when you do subscribe, make sure that you hit the notification button as well. That way you get notified whenever we upload anything new. Don't forget to hit the like button. It goes a long way for us. And leave some comments. We love interacting with everybody.
Yeah, and if you want to stay even more up to date, you can follow us at Story of the Fight on Instagram and Twitter. And you can email us at storyofthefight@gmail.com. Ask questions, give us feedback, critique us. We want to make this better, and input helps us do that.
Thanks for listening to the story of the fight, everybody.